All right, everybody, today's video I'm very excited about. I have an update on the Nash Bridges Tribute Cuda build that I'm doing. And this is an update I wasn't expecting to do for quite some time, but as they say, when opportunity knocks, you better answer the door. And so that's exactly what I did. And for those of you that have e-body convertible projects and you're looking for parts, you're gonna wanna stick around and watch this video as well, because this is gonna have some great information for you that will help with your projects as well. So while I haven't actually started cutting any metal or replacing any parts yet on the Cuda project, because let's face it, I've got enough projects right now that I need to button up with the finishing up on the suspension on the Challenger, as well as the power window conversion. The Viper's got its set of issues. The SRT4, I've got new projects coming that I'll be sharing with you shortly. I do have time to do research for that car, and there needs to be a lot of research done because doing a convertible conversion, it takes a lot of thinking and parts, and there's a lot of stuff that's not available on the aftermarket yet. And so I need to go ahead and make sure I understand what all I need to get and how to install all those parts or fabricate those parts. And so there's a huge resource in the Mopar community. The gentleman's name is Ken. He's back in Wisconsin, and I've been talking to him over the last week, and he has been doing these e-body convertibles for about 40 years now, and especially conversions from coupes to convertibles. And so he's been hoarding a bunch of parts over the years. And so wasn't something I was expecting, but he and I were able to work out a deal for the convertible parts that I need to convert the back half of the car from a coupe to a convertible. Now I'm still gonna have to source a variety of other parts, but the hardest parts to source, he and I were able to strike up a deal, and so I'm very excited about that. And so this is everything that I'm gonna need to take care of the modifying quarter panels for the hardtop to make them convertible, the new Dutchman panel, all the structural components, everything that I need to do the conversion that are the hardest parts to source. The only things I'm still gonna have to source from a structure standpoint are gonna be the wheel well caps as well as the front windshield frame, but we can go ahead, work on those later. The other stuff is the hard parts, the critical parts, and he and I have been able to work that out. And so I'm really excited about that. And if any of you need any type of convertible parts, let me know and I'll put you in touch with him, because he's a great person to talk to, huge resource. And on top of this, he also has reproduction parts as well that he manufactures. So the way I found out about Ken in the first place was actually talking to AMD, because AMD makes the full quarter panels for the coupes on these cars. And so I gave him a call. I was like, hey, what about convertibles? And so they put me in touch with Ken. And so what he does is he actually takes the quarter panels as well as the Dutchman panel and modifies them from coupe format to the convertible format. And the way he does it is so spot on that you can't tell them apart from OEM parts. And in fact, talking to Ken and everybody, it turns out that when he started making these parts, he actually won a Product of the Year award from these because they are that good. So he's so far talking to him, he said it sounds like he's sold about 300 sets of the quarter panels for the convertible e-bodies. So if you need quarter panels that are convertibles, or you need the Dutchman panel for the convertible, he's your guy. He's got everything ready to go. And like I said just a couple of minutes ago, if you want to be put in contact with him, put a comment down below, shoot me an email, and I'll put you in touch with him, because he is definitely a huge resource and a valuable asset to the Mopar community, especially those of us with the e-body convertibles. And I had a great time talking to him the last couple of days, and I'm so excited and so thankful that he had these parts and that we're able to work out a deal on this. This is gonna make my life so much easier on this project. Of course, the parts aren't cheap because let's face it, from a convertible standpoint, I think I only made like 2,500 of them for 70 and 71 for the Barracudas and Cudas. So there aren't many of them out there at all in general. It may have been 2,500 a year. I have to verify the numbers, but it's not a lot of convertibles at all for the e-bodies in general. And so being able to locate these parts is gonna make my life so much easier, and it's gonna make this project go that much smoother. And so I'm very excited about that, and that's the big update for today. If you've done e-body restorations, you've done the convertibles and things like that, you know how critical it is to find these parts and be able to track them down. And I can't wait to finally be able to get started on this project. It's still gonna be a long ways off before I actually start going through and cutting the metal and all of that and doing that work. Because as I said earlier, I've got these projects going on. My daughter's gonna be here in about a month, so I'm not sure how that's gonna affect my ability to get projects done and things like that. But we are committed to this project. I'm gonna get this thing done. It's just gonna take a little bit of time. It's a long-term project, and I'm gonna be sharing every step of the way with all of you. And I hope you stick around for it because it's very exciting, and I can't wait to get this car done, because this has definitely been my dream car since I first saw the show Nash Bridges 25 years ago. And I'm very excited to go ahead and finally be in a situation to have my own 71 Hemi Cuda convertible, and it's gonna be an absolute blast. So that's today's video, guys. I know you probably want to see me actually cutting metal and things like that. Unfortunately, we're not there yet, but we have secured the parts that are the most hard to find, the most critical for this conversion. Make sure it's done right, because I want to make sure that even though most of the stuff you can't see once the interior is installed, if you ever pull a seat out of it or anything like that, it looks right. I don't want to have a hack job, because that's the biggest concern. Is people are like, well, just go and spend the money on an actual convertible. Well, yeah, I can go and spend $150,000 on an actual convertible, but I've seen some of these cars, you pull them apart and it's a complete hack job, and so you're gonna have to go and redo it anyways. And this way, I'm starting from scratch. I can go through when the car's done, say that I did that, I did all of that work, and it's all done right, and you're not gonna be able to tell the difference between a factory convertible and this one because of how well I'm gonna go ahead and put this car together. So stick around, subscribe to the channel, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video.